Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and today we are going to be talking about snipers, but not whether or not they are overpowered for competitive or anything like that. We're going to question if they are overpowered, then should the Clone Wars factions actually get them as well? Now we will discuss this and more. I was going to say we'll discuss this and more. We won't. There's nothing else. That's all we're going to discuss. After I tell you, if you like the video, at the end of the video press like, and if you're not already subscribed, press subscribe. Thank you very much. So this all stems from, there's a gentleman called Luke Cook who runs a YouTube channel called No Disintegrations. Great name, fabulous name. I will try and put a link in the description below, doing my Tony Blair impression. Basically he's talking about whether or not the sniper war is, like, the snipers are overpowered and that kind of stuff, and quite frankly they probably are, but we will not necessarily be touching on that debate right now. So why would we say that? If you look at the LVO lists and the Adepticon lists, almost every competitive list has like 2 snipers in them minimum, and probably 2 or 3. There are the odd edge case of running the saboteurs. Sometimes you might run a full unit of commandos for the rebels with the sniper as well, but it's literally the 2-man sniper teams that are, I'll use the word ubiquitous. They're absolutely everywhere. They're in almost every competitive list. Now, is that a healthy thing? Yes, no, who knows? I'm not really trying to settle on an opinion here for that. What I actually want to talk about is whether or not that would mean the Clone Wars factions should get them. Now, I made a video talking about the predictions, how I thought maybe the B2 battle droid would be the special forces, and people were like, no, they might be the core units, and the special forces would be, oh, are they called commander droids? I've not researched that, so if I'm incorrect, I'm wrong. But basically, commando droids, and for the clone troopers you would have the ARC troopers, both of which to me, just by the name alone, sound like they could very easily have a sniper unit in them, and that would make sense. You would maybe see the core, maybe another core trooper wave 2, maybe the B whatever, are they called B2s, B12s, what are they called, the B2 battle droid. You would have them as a core, and then wave 3 you would have the commando/scout equivalent. Now, whether or not FFG are under an onus to try and do equivalency for the factions, I'm not sure, and whether that's something to be decided yet. Obviously the core box has some similar things in them, but that makes sense. My tummy's rumbling today, must be very hungry. The core box has some similar, you know, trooper, special, trooper, commander support, right? But that's not really an amazing surprise. Whether or not we will then follow the exact same lineage, like we'll get core troopers, special forces with this 2-man sniper team and blah 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 vehicles at that point, commando operative at this point, is obviously yet to be seen. But if they are doing that, how are they going to treat the snipers? Are they going to be like, well, we believe they're overpowered right now, so we're going to change this one to be the way we think they should be? And if they do that, you then have a disparity between the factions, more so than what you would hope and expect, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think anybody thinks that each faction should be exactly the same. With the Rebels and the Imperials, we've obviously had relatively close mirrors. However, if you think about like Pathfinders, they're obviously quite different, say, from the Death Troopers. So equivalency is a weird thing in itself, even when we're getting relative mirrors. But for sure, when it comes to something that's as overpowered or as overplayed as the sniper teams, you've got to question what are they gonna do. Now, the reason, we'll just talk briefly for those of you who don't know why the sniper teams are in every list, essentially, is that they're really good. They're not very much. You can get them in every list. So it's like, yeah, even if you run 2 Death Trooper units with Krennic, you could then have a 2-man units of snipers, and that's just so much better than, say, like 2 naked core trooper units. Although I am actually really liking the naked shore troopers, but that's a separate issue. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're just so easy to get into every list that I did a video whether or not stuff's overpowered, underpowered. And they were definitely in the potentially, well, it was actually undercosted, overcosted. They were definitely in the potential of the undercosted units. And I think most people will agree with that. You know, maybe you don't, maybe you do. But whether or not FFG will then be like, all right, well, we underpointed these guys when we did them the first time around. Shall we fix it now? Do they what they're gonna do? Now the GW, or I'm being unfair to GW there, but the classic view of, say, somebody like GW Games Workshop would be that they make the new stuff better, so that even if you've got the old stuff, you're more likely to buy the new stuff. Now, will FFG do that? I think that's probably unlikely. I think they might end up being the same, as in still really, really good and probably overpowered, but the relatively balanced towards the Imperial versions and the Rebel versions. I think they'll go with that as a mentality, because FFG generally have a better reputation for keeping things reasonably balanced. I'm very much aware of like triple quad jumpers and X-Wing and all that kind of stuff. No company really does it the best. Well, one company does it the best, but no company does it perfectly. And yeah, it was just, I was driving home from work, as I normally do. Well, I've got to, I mean, so I'm going to get home. I guess I could get the train. But I was driving home from work, and that's where I think about these kind of things. I was like, are they gonna copy it? Are they gonna do the exact same thing that we've got already, even if it means being broken? Because I say it's broken. You can only have 3 in your list, so it's got a cap anyway. And as I said, each faction has the sort of own version of it right now. So how do we define broken? Yes, they're in every list, and it's sort of like, it feels like an automated choice, an automatic choice. Does that mean it's broken, or does it's balanced within? It's like there's balance within the factions, but within this faction, it's much better to take this than this. That sort of seems like the definition of being a little bit unbalanced, but it's not a drastic situation, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I know what I'm trying to say. So let me know what you think. I'm very interested. Do you think? I think my prediction might have been a bit wrong. I think commando droids with the sniper make so much sense that I've got to presume that they're going to do that. I do think that for the core unit that we might not get the B2 droid. I sort of feel like they might want to go organic instead of droid. And I think they'll not go phase 2 troopers, because that's a little bit too similar to phase 1 troopers. So I think I predicted Gungans, but it could be, you know, there could be a race of unarmored, well, I say unarmored, you know what I mean, like humanoid kind of people who aren't in just giant suits of white armor. So I think that still could be the case. You might get that as the core unit, and then you might get the commando droids and the ARC troopers with the sniper. It just rings so true. That I can't help but think that is what will happen. Maybe not. I might be wrong on the core units, but for the special forces, that seems, I mean, they'd have to have a good reason not to do it, I think. And, you know, they've said we're pretty much not getting an app, although I would absolutely love them to surprise us with the app. Just be like, yeah, we've put points on there if you want to play with points, but lols, here's an app. Here's they could even do it as, like, you know, Star Wars Legion 2, 2nd edition. I'd be happy with that. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what they're gonna do. I'm not really sure what they should do. I think personally for me, I think they should go with just having the snipers, because otherwise you're running the risk of a faction getting left out in the cold. And not getting played competitively, and I don't think anybody really wants to see that. So I think we should just break everything to an equal amount. Whether or not they'll listen to me, I don't know. But definitely check out Luke Cook's channel, No Disintegrations. I have just watched his video on this subject. Well, he's talking about whether or not snipers are overpowered and stuff like that. But yeah, check that out. It's always nice to see people start up on YouTube talking about Legion. And have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe if you have not already. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Nah, there isn't. So let me know what you think, though. Do you think the special forces for the Clone Wars factions will have a sniper straight off the bat? And when I say will they have a sniper, will it be as good as the ones that we currently have? That is the key question of the day, of the moment. Oh, I'm sweaty. I'm so sweaty. It's hot in here. Key question, let me know the answer. Have a beautiful day, and goodbye.